It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. In this game, we'll see the Utah Jazz against the Denver Nuggets. It's been some pretty good basketball lately for the Nuggets. The results have been excellent for them over the first half of the season, and it has to be said, they're not showing any signs of slowing down anytime soon. And before we tip off, I just need to ask Shaq, when you think back to great teammates, what are the qualities that make a great teammate?
Well, you want to play the guys who care as much about the game as you do, a guy who puts the team first, a guy who gets you involved, a guy who has the same dreams and aspirations that you have about the game.
Well, that name sounds like Kobe Bryant to me that you were talking about, but I always look for guys who could push me. And I could push them at the same time, where we could work together. It's a family, the basketball team. You playing for 82 games. You need somebody that's going to be in your corner.
Wouldn't you like to push Kenny?
Push him off this set.
Yeah, that's what I was getting
As long
at.
as I could push you back.
You may not be able to. Kevin Harlan, take it away, kid.
Let's meet the visiting team, Denver Nuggets. At small forward, the bodyguard. At the other forward position, Aaron Gordon. At shooting guard, Victor Oladipo. At the other guard position, Jamal Murray. At center, Nikola Jokic. The head coach of the visiting team is Mike Malone.
Thanks for joining us live for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. So for the Jazz in this matchup, they got to be feeling pretty good as they won that last outing against the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, the confidence just exuding in that performance on the offensive end. Really illustrates how this team clicks when guys are communicating and executing as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, roadkill is hard to get in this league. To be a great NBA team, you've got to be able to have that kind of performance on the road. Focused, purposeful, and productive. Really solid.
Now let's take a look at the Nuggets opening lineup. They've got the bodyguard. Victor Oladipo is out there with Boss. Then it's Aaron Gordon. Here's Murray. Sinks the three-pointer. Murray's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season, looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
And the shot is good. On defense, Utah, defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, they just caught a team, Kevin, that was in a zone, and they didn't have the manpower defensively to disrupt them.
Hey, zone or no zone, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed. I mean, they never strung together any stops like they needed to.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Mitchell kicks to Favors. He feeds it to Gay. The three. Second chance shot, and it's Favors laying it in. Favors has got his first basket of the night.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
Here's Murray. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Minnesota.
And how about how opportunistic he was defensively? Steal after steal for him in that game just showed the quickness of his hands and anticipation.
Gobert, the screen. Mitchell dishes to Gobert, feeds it to Favors. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Here's Jokic. Turned in an outstanding game against Minnesota. Pass to Murray. Here's Jokic. He's covered by Gay. And that one's good. Jokic.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Utah's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Right side Favors. 14 feet away. No good. And Denver the other way now. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And it goes back to what's been their strength, really, on the interior. From a defensive standpoint, they just defended the rim as well as you could.
Yeah, I thought it was really impressive the way they did it, guys. They were alert, they were active, they were aware, and their reaction to shots was outstanding.
Here's Gobert. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Ooh, a forceful finish from the big fella.
Well, with a player for that size, you'd think he'd make the highlight reel more often.
Yeah, you know, he just appears to lack an edge at times in his game. I mean, he can be too passive and reluctant on the court.
On its way from Oladipo for 2. A rebound by Mitchell. Utah leading by 3. Passes it to Conley. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. He dishes it to Favors. Puts up the baby hook. You know, Clark, the thing you like about Derek Favors is he keeps adding to his game every year. You forget how young he is, too.
That's exactly right. We need a reminder. This guy came into the league very early, right after a year of college. Seems like he's been around forever.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
Also, guys, the passing has been terrific in the first half. They'll be happy with all those assists.
The first free throw is good. He's off on the second. The Nuggets trail by 4. Jokic passes to the bodyguard. Pass to Murray. Here's Jokic. Some nice ball movement by the Nuggets. 6 on the shot clock. Now the pass to the bodyguard. Lets it go with the 3. And again, Denver no good.
And for Favors and his youth, he has made big strides. And in a few years' time could be one of the more dominant bigs in our league.
Now here's Favors. 5 points in the game. There's the dish to Mitchell. There's 3-pointers off the mark. Nuggets have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway.
And guys, with Favors, his development, you know, you forget sometimes it takes big men a little longer to figure it out. I mean, he's certainly been putting it together here the last few seasons.
Denver shooting their first free throw of the game right now. The Nuggets missed the postseason again last year. Never really had a good look at it and just fell in back of the pack.
And it's the second straight year of not playing playoff basketball in Denver. This coming on the heels of 10 straight bursts between 04 and 13.
Now here's Gobert. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Jokic, no good. That would have tied it.
And, you know, for Denver, historically, they've enjoyed a lot of success for a long time. Missing the playoffs consecutively might have been the wake-up call they needed to try something different going forward.
Here's Mitchell. Denver grabs the miss. The bodyguard's got 3 rebounds now in this one. There's the 3. No good. Utah leading by 3. Conley kicks to Mitchell. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now, here's Oladipo. Talking about that win against the Timberwolves, he was definitely a major factor as well.
And listen, it's sometimes really hard for teams like the Nuggets to know when to rebuild. So while they weren't quite sure what they had coming into last season, by the end of it, they had a clear idea of what direction they needed to head into for the future.
Here is Conley. After the made shot from Victor Oladipo, 3-on-3. From deep, Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
And Denver decides to take their first time out here.
And, you know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
Joe Ingles, he's checked in for Utah. Jordan Clarkson comes in for Michael Conley. And here are the Nuggets now. It's a 5-point game. Jokic passes to Murray. Here's the screen. Out to the wing. Dishes it to Barton. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. 9 points for Boss.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
Mitchell's shot is good.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense has given him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Here's Barton. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. He kicks it to Murray. Pulls up on the wing. The offensive rebound. Campazzo, he's covered by Clarkson. Out left to the wing. Kicks it to Barton. Banked in off the glass. Barton's got his first 2 points of the night.
Even though there's a height disadvantage, he's still able to go up and over his man.
Well, he's fearless. I mean, there's nothing that concerns him. No matter what the matchup is, he's a guy that doesn't back down. He's beyond being intimidated.
Here's Murray. He's covered by Clarkson. Lots of room. And Denver again with the bucket.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Mitchell kicks to Ingles. The feed now to Clarkson. Out to the right wing. Here's Mitchell. He's coming off a 19-point game against New Orleans. Okay, that's good. And the Jazz lead by 2. For Denver, they've gone 50% from the field in the first quarter, 8 of 16. Campazzo, he's covered by Clarkson. Barton. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Utah has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's Mitchell. 6 points for him. And Fareed sends it back. And the ball goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Fareed. And the Jazz with some changes. Lyles checked in for Rudy Gobert. And Bogdanovic is subbed in for Mitchell. Wilson Chandler's checked in for the Nuggets. Here's Ingles. Coming in off a 10-point performance last game out. Here's Gay. Utah.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
The Nuggets shooting their second and third free throws tonight. First one falls for him.
A lot of NBA teams have been outright buying developmental league teams. I mean, the Jazz did that last season. They purchased the Idaho Stampede last March, and we see more and more of that happening, one-on-one affiliations between D-League teams and NBA teams.
Both good from the line that time. Well, last year the Jazz acquired the Stampede from the D-League. It makes sense. They'll have a designated place now to develop all their young talent.
And Kevin, it's really a key for the Jazz to have those extra minutes available for all those young talents to get an opportunity to get confidence, but also to learn your system. I think more and more NBA teams will follow this route of buying D-League teams.
And Denver has possession after the basket by Utah. Chandler outside. Clock at 6. Here's Jokic. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
And, Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
Some nice ball movement by the Nuggets. Barton passes to Jokic. Tries from 7. Rebounded by the Jazz.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And Bogdanovic kicks to Gay. Oh, yes, the turnaround. Gay's got 6.
Got him with the turnaround there. That was as sweet as honey.
The Nuggets trail by 4. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something right. Chandler outside. Lets it go from deep. The shot no good. So Utah will take it the other way. Clarkson with the ball. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against New Orleans.
Boy, was he physical. I mean, in that game, just drawing a lot of contact and getting himself to the line over and over.
Chandler, no good.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Ingles dishes to Clarkson. McKay passes to Clarkson. Hits the front of the rim and out. He got it up. And it's, yeah, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And money to end the quarter there with the triple.
They knew exactly what they wanted to do right there, Greg, and the timing was right on time.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Utah out in front, up 1. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Energy Solutions Arena in Salt Lake City. And Derek Favors known for his work ethic, and he talked about his focus on developing his skills. Well, the desire is there, and sounds like the commitment that he's showing is too. How far, Greg, you think he can go?
Well, you talk about desire and commitment, and then you throw in the fact that he has the talent that can be built upon and improved. One big factor will be injuries. That's the big X factor that determines so many more careers than desire. Talent and commitment, you need to stay on the court.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And taking a look at the Jazz performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
You always like it when your team doesn't settle for outside shots, and that's been the case here early on.
Yeah, I agree with you. They've done a nice job, Greg, working it low and not taking the easy way out on offense, keeping that pressure on the defense by going inside.
Bogdanovic out there with Lyons. Then it's Conley. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. And it's Favors in at center. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second.
That is so tough to defend. He'll cross you over in a nanosecond. That move is next to unstoppable.
And Victor Oladipo, after a solid rookie campaign, really took it up a notch last season, even after missing Clark the first 9 games with that facial fracture.
I love this kid's gravitas. I mean, he's got a presence about him. His percentages improved across the board, field goal, three-point free throws. And I like his work ethic and his confidence.
That free throw good from Oladipo.
In talking about Victor Oladipo's improvement, a lot of it has to do with his work ethic. Also his pregame film studies, something his college coach absolutely raved about. And all of that showed up for him big time last season.
Here's Bogdanovic. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Shoots off the screen. Shot's good.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Now here's Rivers. Oladipo sets the screen for Rivers. Screen by Fareed. There's the screen. Here's the bodyguard.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatics.
Oh, come on. Clark, he had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one, although if he missed it, I might have.
For Denver, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. Takes the 3. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the right.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Here's the bodyguard. After the basket by Utah, he feeds it to Gordon. Rebound, Utah. Favors got his 3rd rebound on the night. Conley kicks to Mitchell. Nice ball movement by Utah. And stolen by Gordon. Oladipo dishes to Gordon. Shot is off. The Jazz go the other way with it. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. Gobert with a screen on Rivers. Conley's shot is off.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And there's Oladipo on the assist by Gordon. Oladipo's got it all tied up now for Denver. For Utah, they've gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And a first time out of the game called for Utah. And for Aaron Gordon, so much fanfare entering the 2014 draft, selected 4th overall, which was actually a couple of slots higher, I think, Greg, than many experts thought.
I agree, and a lot of people obviously liked him, but Orlando clearly loved him and had very high hopes for this young man. And of course, the injured foot, only 11 games a season ago, and never really got back on track.
Now here's Favors. He's got 5, and Fareed sends it back. And now here's Rivers, the fast break opportunity. Murray, good. Murray's got the lead up to 2 now for Denver. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Denver.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
And, getting back to Aaron Gordon, his defense is really what had scouts most excited. He has the rare combination of strength, lateral quickness, and ups to defend multiple positions.
Really left alone that time. 14 points for Boss.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
And talking about Aaron Gordon, everyone knew coming in that he was kind of unrefined. You're betting on his upside and hoping that he develops a consistent shot. And boy, if he does, you're talking about a guy who could become a perennial all-star.
That free throw, no good.
And guys, one thing sometimes gets lost. I mean, Mike Conley is a proven winner. Remember, you go back in high school, won 3 state titles, and the one season at Ohio State led them to the national title game. So that aspect of what he brings, the intangibles, you're going to be a winner if Mike Conley's on your roster.
He hits the second from the line. And for Mike Conley, growing up, he played on some tremendously talented teams, guys like Greg Oden, Josh McRoberts, his teammates.
Yeah, Kevin, he never had to really look for his own offense to win games with those kind of players around him. He came into the league more focused on setting up his teammates, and that's what he does well.
The bodyguard passes to Rivers. 4 on the clock. Here's the 3. Murray, no good. Jazz have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. From past the arc, and it's Michael Conley with a 3. Conley's got 4 this quarter. Clark, a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
Here's Murray. He's got 14. Here's the bodyguard. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Mitchell. Gobert, the screen. Now here's Conley. 8 points his last outing. Favors with a screen on Rivers. And Bogdanovic kicks to Mitchell. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Now it's a 3-point Jazz lead.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Murray dishes to Rivers. Feeds it to Fareed. For 3. Favors with the rebound. Jazz leading by 3. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable. And that's really using the double team against the defense there and creating that pinpoint passing to attack.
Denver calls timeout.
He just, like every other coach, can't stand when the defense gives up points on the inside. And boy, are they struggling in there.
Yeah, well, they're getting pummeled in there. So you've got to figure out a way to make some adjustments to try to change that around. And that's why he needed the timeout.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Gay comes in for Rudy Gobert, and Trey Burke subbed in for Mike Conley. Now here's Rivers, looking for his first basket still in this one. Pass to Murray. Looking to end the run.
And it's Gay with the rebound.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
It's been a difference maker for them in this game. That's what's put them in front.
Here's Mitchell. They lead by 6, their biggest margin.
No slowing him down. Just incredible numbers for Silk. He's got 13 points, and there's a nice number in his assist column as well.
It really has been, Clark. He's created a lot of open looks for his teammates. Very unselfish play from him today.
First free throw is good.
You know, the Nuggets could create their offense, but they still would have trouble knocking down the shots. Just didn't have a lot of dead-eye laser shooters. Every field goal attempt with them was an adventure.
And the Jazz making a change here. Ingles is checked in. And Mitchell drops them both. Nuggets did have their problems on the offensive end, too, something that's rare for them, hitting the open shot and the mid-range shot and beyond being one of them.
You know, Kevin, how about being last in the league in catch-and-shoot field goal percentage? I mean, got a good amount of looks that way, but really struggled shooting only 34% in those situations.
Here's Jokic. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. 7 points in the game.
I love how he used his height advantage on that shot.
And he had the nice soft touch with it, too.
Outside Favors. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Here's Murray. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game.
Goes up, rips down the breakaway slam.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him, and when he's got that much room, forget about it.
Chandler a screen. They set the screen to the inside. It's tipped. Jokic passes to Barton. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
The Nuggets shooting their 5th free throw of the game here for the Jazz. Lyle comes in for Derek Favors. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Mitchell.
Well, last season, the Jazz ended up 3rd in the Northwest, but they had to be happy about that finish after coming in last in 2014. I really thought it was a much better overall season for them last season.
Gay. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Denver's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Murray, the pass to Jokic. And again, Denver no good. For Utah, they've gone 8 of 13 in the second quarter, well above the 50% mark from the field. And then Gay with the dunk.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And guys, anytime it's real tight, you're looking for something that could be potentially a momentum builder. And that's exactly what that play looks to be.
Here's Murray after Rudy Gay's bucket. Murray, good. Murray's got 12 points now in the quarter.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Now, here's Burke. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Ingles. And Utah again with the bucket.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Here's Jokic, and again Denver with the triple.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
And those triples, they sure do add up quickly, don't they? I mean, they've got to make some kind of adjustment here.
Now here's Burke. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Gay sets the pick for Burke. And it's Gay at the elbow. Here's Clarkson. The rim-rattling two-handed jam. Guys, what a wild first half this has been.
I'd say, 8 lead changes, that speaks for itself.
Wow, back and forth start, that's for sure.
And Denver has possession. They trail by 1. Passes it to Murray. Puts up a 3. That's good. Murray's got 24 points.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
Greg, that's 3 in a row from out there now, so they've got to do a better job contesting.
Now here's Gay. He's coming off a 10-point game against New Orleans.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
Murray, no good. Utah has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Pass to Ingles. He dishes it to Gay. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And no question, Jay, Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only 1 playoff. Only 1. Count him, 1. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he were still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
The first free throw is good.
And, back to Rudy Gay, he's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be completed.
Denver making a switch here. Oladipo's checked in. And both free throws good for Gay.
And thinking more about Rudy Gay, one key number I look at from last season, his assists. By far the most in his career, and that didn't translate into a ton of wins, but it very well could have been the next step toward getting those wins.
Here's Jokic. He's got 10. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. Ingles kicks to Burke. It's deflected. And it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
Seven seconds left to play in the first half. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Oladipo outside. Takes the 3. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's tied as we head to halftime. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be breaking down all the action for you. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. Their biggest lead during the opening period was 5. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room with the game all knotted up. And Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
One strong area has been their work on the boards. And you're trying to get ahead in the score and stay there, it often comes down to a few extra possessions. That's why any extra rebounds can make a big difference. Now they have to come out in the second half and attack the glass with the same vengeance.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
They need to turn up the defense intensity. They let the game get taken to them instead of the other way around. Coming out in the second half, they got to play with a chip on their shoulder, Ernie. You know, don't get pushed around on D. It's payback time.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.